what is going on, guys? Just trying to make sure I can set everything up well. Let's see if I can get things going. Give me a few moments. Try to figure everything out, but welcome to the Selection Sunday show. Everything sports with Aman and Evan. Unfortunately, Aman is not able to make it for this show, but he will be releasing his bracket, I believe, tomorrow on Monday, March 18th. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that, as well as some baseball content for myself coming out this week, leading up to opening day. But I will fill out my March Madness bracket. It's going to be definitely an insane March Madness. Saw so many upsets these past week, especially in the tournaments. So many big upsets through the top four seeds, or three top four teams in the in all March Madness. All college basketball did actually lose in their games yesterday. So we'll see what happens. It's gonna be really fun. But I guess we'll start off my predictions. We'll start off with the UConn versus I believe that says Stetson. UConn versus Stetson. I think this one's pretty obvious. I have the stats for all the games just in case, but UConn, probably one of the best teams, if not the best team in all of college basketball right now. That's what most people are saying. First a disclaimer though, I am not a huge college basketball guy, but UConn, definitely one of the best teams in all of college basketball. I definitely got to pick them winning this game over Stetson. Moving on to the next game, we got my team, Florida Atlantic versus Northwestern. Florida Atlantic is the team that I did pick to be a Cinderella team last year, and of course they did make the Cinderella run, but they got a tough battle against Northwestern. You look at the stats here, it says that FAU is the favorite, but if you look at it here, Northwestern's a better three-point shooting team. They're about the same. They're actually the same in field goal percentage. Field goal percentage, Northwestern takes his cake. Opponent points, Northwestern again. Points in the paint, it goes to FAU. Overall points, FAU again. I probably will go FAU as well, but I don't know. Northwestern could have put up a good fight for sure. This is an 8-9 game, so can definitely go either way, but I am going to go with Florida Atlantic University in this one, which puts us for now San Diego State and UAB. Now, I'm not a huge San Diego State fan. I'm going to put that out there. Probably going to go with UAB here more than likely no matter what, but we'll look at the stats for sure. They better at three ball, better field goal percentage, about the same free throw percentage, opponent's points per game. San Diego State definitely has a better defense than UAB, but overall points, UAB is definitely steals per game. If you look at this, it definitely looks like it could be San Diego State's game. Honestly, probably will be San Diego State's game in this one, but either way, I'm going to choose UAB. This is a Yale team that I believe just won, if I'm not mistaken. They beat Brown today, 62-61. Oh, yeah, they beat them on that buzzer beater, layup, or floater, whatever you want to call it. So the Yale, they did win the Ivy League championship. And then Auburn, of course, is always very good. I believe they didn't. Let's see. They won today as well. They absolutely demolished Florida by 19 points. Number 12 ranked Auburn. Stats are clearly saying that Princeton was going to be a sleeper team, be a Cinderella team possibly out of the Ivy League, but now Yale comes away with the Ivy League championship. So no more Princeton in this bracket, but I am going to go with Auburn in this game. I don't think Yale had much of a chance, for being honest. BYU versus it's Duquesne. I forgot exactly how to pronounce that, but BYU, another strong team. Duquesne, they just won today over VCU, which is honestly a pretty big win because VCU, I believe, they Are they? I believe they were in the March Madness last year. Could be wrong, but BCU is usually a pretty strong team. It's BYU. Let's look at the stats here. I mean, dominate in the paint. BYU does. Opponent points definitely goes to the other team, but I mean, definitely got to think about the conference as well. Like conference play, BYU is definitely a much tougher conference than Duquesne, but I don't know. Honestly, this could be a potential upset if I'm being honest here, but I think I gotta go with BYU in this matchup, 6 versus 11 seed. Then we got Illinois and Morehead State. Illinois, did they come up short today? I remember they were playing the other day, I think. Let's see. Illinois, they beat Nebraska 98-87 in their championship game. So versus Morehead State. Morehead State's usually a team that finds its way to the bracket. It seems like it. But Illinois, it looks like, is clearly the better team in this one. 3 percentage goes to Morehead State. Field goal percentage goes to tie. Free throw percentage is definitely goes to Illinois here. Overall points in the paint, I mean, it definitely Illinois. Yeah, I mean, I think it's got to be Illinois' game to win in this one. I mean, Morehead State definitely gets some steals, but again, got to think about the conference when you're picking your March Madness bracket. Stats may say some things, but conference play definitely says otherwise. So I'm going to go with Illinois in this one. I mean, it's kind of hard, honestly, because this year there really is a dominant team. Could be so many upsets in this March Madness. So far, I've only picked one upset, but it really, things could go any way. Like this one right here, Drake, Washington State. Washington State is a team that I believe made it to the semifinals in the Pac-12 tournament. They fell short to Colorado. Yeah, fell short to Colorado, and then Oregon ended up winning the Pac-12 championship over Colorado. But I don't know, Washington State, are a ranked team this year. One of two ranked teams in the Pac-12. The other team, I believe, the other team being Arizona. That's obvious. But I don't know. This definitely looks like a potential 10 versus 7 upset. Drake is a hot team right now. Washington State that definitely has been struggling as of late. Still a pretty good team, but I mean, Drake shoots a 3-ball better. Better field goal percentage, better overall free throw percentage. Points per game is about the same opponents wise. Overall points in the paint, that goes to Washington State. Points from turnover goes to Drake. I mean, I don't know. Definitely a lot of signs pointing to Drake winning this game. Net rating, Drake as well. Overall efficiency. Drake's definitely a lot more efficient than Washington State is in this matchup. Second chance points goes to Washington State, which definitely could be a big factor in a lot of these March Madness games. It is second chance points. Because really, just a couple extra possessions, a few extra possessions can be the difference in a lot of these March Madness games, as we know. I don't know. It's definitely going to be a tough one. I think I'm going to pick the upset here. I'm going to go with Drake over Washington State in this one. One upset. Upset was, who did they upset the other day? I honestly forgot who they upset. They won yesterday versus. Oh, sorry, they beat number 1 Houston. That's what it was. Yeah, that was number 1 team. Okay, so Iowa State kind of off a huge win over number 1 Houston. Kind of got snubbed though. I feel like they should have easily been the top 2 seed, but instead they are not somehow. I don't know how they. I mean, you're the 7th. I think 7th ranked heading into the game. Then you beat the number 1 team. I'm not exactly sure how you don't jump into number 1 seed, maybe even a high 2 seed. Especially considering that 3 of the top 4 teams did lose in the championship games yesterday. So Iowa State's a very hot team. I mean, I'm not even going to look at the stats. I think Iowa State's going to win this game. Very, very, very good team. Then we move on to the west side. We got North Carolina, and then the winner of Howard versus Wagner, I believe it is. I mean, UNC is obviously one of the best teams in the conference or in the league right now. Best teams in college basketball right now. I'm probably gonna go with UNC for now. I mean, we'll see who ends up being the winner of Howard versus Wagner, but I don't think either of them have a chance at this point. Mississippi State versus Michigan State. Michigan State, I've heard the stat in the March Madness selection show, and it said that I believe Tom Izzo has like a 60, 70% win percentage when he's a lower seed, something like that. Tom Izzo has a very good win percentage when he is the lower seed. Michigan State's usually a pretty good team. I mean, stats are telling me to pick them here. Just look at the stats a little bit. 3-point percentage, better. Field goal percentage is better. Field percentage is better. I mean, when you have percentages like that, I mean, especially if they are clearly better, like, I wouldn't say 3% is like a huge difference, but it definitely is a big difference. It's a difference for sure. When you have those stats, you kind of lean toward those teams because shooting is something that does translate most of the time to whether you're playing an elite team or a not as good team, like let's say a random team like UAB. If they're playing a conference game and their better shooting percentage, if their shooting percentage is better than let's say a Duke or something, I don't know. More than likely, I'm still gonna pick UAB because it usually does translate, despite who your opponent may be in a certain game. Obviously, defenses are tougher between conferences, but shooting percentages, they generally do a little bit. That's why I ended up picking FAU. That's why they did make Cinderella run, because their shooting was very, very, very good last year. But offensive rebounds, it does lean toward Mississippi State. Points and turnovers, Michigan State leads that one. Opponent efficiency, opponent efficiency leads toward Michigan State. Overall efficiency leads toward Michigan State as well. I mean, Michigan State's a team that you definitely do not want to sleep on, especially Mississippi State. You do not want to run into them, and here they are. They did run into them. Of course, playing in a tough conference. I am going to get Michigan State in this game. Another upset to the board. St. Mary's versus Grand Canyon. St. Mary's, I luckily was able to watch this season. This team is really strong. They could be a sleeper team to make it to maybe Sweet 16, Final Four, something like that, Elite 8, something like that. They definitely could be a sleeper team to make it pretty far in this tournament. I mean, they did beat Gonzaga twice, I believe, this season, three times. I know, but they did win the WCC this year. Very strong team, St. Mary's is. I mean, Grand Canyon seemed to put up a fight according to these stats. I'm pretty sure GCU, did they make upset last year? I don't remember. I remember they were in the tournament last year for sure. But this is a very good GCU team, very good St. Mary's team. I mean, my heart tells me to not pick St. Mary's just because they're a conference rival, but I'm probably gonna have St. Mary's team. This St. Mary's team is actually really, really good. So I'll go St. Mary's over Grand Canyon in this matchup. Bama versus Charleston. Bama was one of the top teams, I believe, from a good amount of the season, but then slipped a little bit recently as of late. Charleston, I mean, looking at these stats, it doesn't seem like they have much of a chance in this one. 3 points better. Opponent points, yeah, I mean, literally, opponent points, I mean, when you have Charleston, like, probably going to have a lot of opponent points because they were in a weaker conference than Alabama is. Over points in the paint, Bama. Overall points, Bama. I mean, pretty much everything is leading toward Bama winning this game, so I got to go with Alabama beating Charleston for sure in this one. Clemson versus New Mexico. I feel like I had this matchup recently. I feel like there was a matchup maybe last year, a couple of years ago. I'm not really sure. But looks like New Mexico might pull off the upset in this one. It's a big difference in the stats according to my match analysis score. 58.2 for New Mexico State versus Clemson's 50.6. 3 percentage is better for Clemson. However, overall field percentage is better for Clemson as well. I mean, Clemson, they shoot the ball much better than New Mexico. So maybe we do go with Clemson in this one and not go with the upset like the stats are telling me to. Opponent points, yeah, I mean, if you're holding the team to less points than New Mexico State is, I mean less points than sorry, less points than New Mexico State is probably a good sign that you're gonna win this game. Because Clemson obviously is a much tougher conference than New Mexico State. Overall points in the paint, New Mexico State's definitely much better in that paint, but again, competition is a big factor. But I mean, it is a pretty big difference for sure. Overall points, 4 points, not a huge difference. Steals per game, New Mexico State is definitely better. But I don't know. It definitely a lot of things telling me that I should go to New Mexico in this one. But I mean, look, effective field goal percentage definitely is Clemson. Assist turnover ratio about the same. Shooting percentage is Clemson. I mean, all the shooting percentage are telling me to go Clemson in this one, so I'm gonna go with Clemson and disregard what the stats are telling me to choose. Baylor versus Colgate. Honestly, this could be a pretty good matchup, but I think Colgate made a similar run. Did they make a big upset last year, 2 years ago? I keep forgetting. I honestly don't remember, but Baylor, obviously a pretty good team this year. I mean, their shooting percentages are much better as well. Opponent points per game, of course, is better for Colgate, but I don't know. Most of these things are telling me to go Colgate. Last 10 games, though. Sorry, not Colgate. Go with Baylor in this one. Colgate is better in the last 10 games, though, so that could definitely be a factor in a lot of these games. Is whatever team's the hottest is probably going to, or could have a really good chance to win this game, despite what the stats may say. Net ranking, yeah, I mean, overall efficiency, definitely better for Baylor. It's not even that close, honestly, in a lot of these. So I'm going to go with Baylor winning this one over Colgate. Dayton and Nevada. I realized only one upset so far in this one, which is pretty interesting considering that there could be a ton of upsets this year, I believe. Maybe they'll come in the next round, not in the round of 64. Nevada and Dayton. Dayton, I believe they won their championship yesterday. Or was it today? I believe it was yesterday. And then Nevada. This Nevada team, it doesn't seem to compare too much so far. Look at the percentages. Overall field goal percentage, 74 to 72. Field goal percentage, 48 to 47. I mean, the percentages aren't terribly far off. Definitely a lot more fouls for Dayton, which could be a big difference in this one. I mean, a lot of these are actually pretty close. Effective field goal percentage, though, is better for Dayton, which could be a big difference. Shooting percentage, roughly the same. So, I don't know. I definitely could see an upset in this one. I'm gonna choose upset. I'm gonna choose Nevada beating Dayton. 10 seed, Nevada being number 7. Dayton. Arizona versus Long Beach State. Arizona team that has struggled this past week. They lost to USC the last game of the season, and then they did lose to, it was Oregon, I believe it was. Was it Oregon? I believe it was Oregon. Or whoever it was, the Pac-12 tournament. So definitely rough couple of days in this week. But Long Beach State, one of the best stories in college basketball right now. The coach was actually fired before the tournament started. I think they're around 500 this year. About 500, I think. But the coach was fired, and now they are hot. They won 5 or 6 games in a row, however many it's been in the tournament, and here they are in March Madness after beating, who was it yesterday? They beat, was it Davis yesterday? I don't remember. I believe it was some team in California. I don't remember exactly what it was, but Arizona definitely one of the stronger teams this year. But like I said, they are struggling. I don't know. It's kind of tough because Long Beach State is rolling, and Arizona, like I said, is a struggling team. So definitely could be one of the biggest upsets in this year's March Madness. But I feel like Arizona is too good to lose this game. Because like I said, USC is not necessarily a bad team. They're probably, neither is Oregon, of course. So look at the last 10 games. Actually somehow it's better for Arizona. I'm not really sure how that happens, but let's look at the shooting a little bit as well. Yeah, Long Beach State's probably just not as good. Despite I think Arizona will be upset at some point for sure, but I think I gotta go with Arizona in this one. Let me move on to the right side of the bracket. Let me move things over a little bit so you guys can see it. And let's see. There you go. At the right side of the bracket, starting off in the, I don't know what region this is, whatever region this is. Oh, Southern region. There it is. Houston versus Longwood. Houston's definitely one of the best teams in college basketball. That's why they're the 1 seed. And Longwood, I don't say never heard of them. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the easy answer here. Gonna go with Houston. Don't really need to explain much about that one. Nebraska and Texas A&M. Texas A&M is definitely not the team here. Looks like Nebraska is far, far superior. Their percentage is 35 to 28. I mean, that's a huge difference. Yeah, no, I'm not even gonna give Texas A&M a chance in this one. Definitely interesting to see them 8-9 seed, considering how bad Nebraska has an advantage over Texas A&M in this one. Wisconsin and James Madison. Oh, jeez. This actually could be a major upset according to this one. 12 versus 5 seed. James Madison definitely looks a lot better than Wisconsin. Percentages are better other than free percentage, which a lot more fouls. Actually, no, not more fouls to James Madison actually in this one. Block shots goes to James Madison. Offensive rebounds. Well, let's look at block shots and points in the paint. And points in the paint goes to James Madison, and the block less shots for Wisconsin. That could be a problem for Wisconsin in this game. Shooting percentage is better for James Madison. This could be one of the bigger upsets. It definitely looks like it has to be, I think. I mean, overall rebounding team is better for James Madison, so I'm going James Madison in this game over Wisconsin. Looks like it's going to be one of the more obvious 12-5 upsets. At least according to the stats. I'm not exactly sure because I don't exactly know a whole lot about college basketball, but we'll go with that anyways. Duke versus Vermont is good as you expect them to be. Of course, Tyrese Proctor. Was projected to be a top pick this year before the season started, but now has kind of fallen off. But I'm not sure. I believe someone else on that team that is pretty good as well. But okay, is it Dillingham? I don't remember Team Dillingham. I don't remember. I honestly don't know. Like I said, I don't know much about college basketball, so don't exactly take everything that I say as fact. But definitely looks like Duke is the better team in this one, which obviously makes sense. Better shooting all around. Of course, they give up more points per game, which makes sense. But efficiency, I mean, if you look at efficiency and things like that, it definitely could be a decent game for sure. But again, you kind of do have to take into account the fact that Duke is playing in a much tougher conference than Vermont is. Yeah, I don't see Duke losing this game. It's probably not going to happen. Duke's just too good to lose that game to Vermont. Texas Tech versus NC State. NC State is a team that is rolling. They beat Carolina. Did they beat Carolina? They definitely beat somebody. If I'm not mistaken. Well, let me make sure I'm not tripping. Where is that game? I believe oh yeah, they did. Yeah, they beat number 4 North Carolina yesterday, by 8 points. So this team is rolling. NC State is. Texas Tech. I mean, it looks like NC State probably gonna lose this game according to the stats, but like I said, NC State is rolling after a big win versus North Carolina University. So I don't know. I'm gonna go with North Carolina State in this one. I want to pick more upsets. There's gonna be so many upsets in this bracket, like I said. So gonna try to pick more than I have already. Florida State, and then Colorado or Boise. Colorado is a team that made it to the Pac-12 championship, but I don't know. I don't think they have much of a chance against Florida. Actually, I don't know. I mean, we'll probably revisit this once we figure out who the team is in Colorado versus Boise, but I probably will have to go with I'll probably pick Colorado Boise for now, just to and just visit it later once we do find out who that team is. It won't even let me pick Colorado and Boise, which is really weird. Usually it does. They're of course number 2 seed, so definitely percentages are better, just slightly though. So could be an upset possibly in the making. Look at some true shooting percentage and whatnot. True percentage is better for Marquette. Effective field percentage is better for Marquette as well. Definitely looks like a Marquette game in this one. I could be completely wrong, but I am going to go with Marquette over Western Kentucky. I don't see a 2 versus 15 upset happening in this one. Every single year, it seems like they always find a way to lose. I don't really know how they do it. Somehow they do anyways, but I don't think they're losing this game. 1 versus 16, they're not losing 1 to 16 seed. I don't think. We could see another 16 seed upset. 1 seed this year, but I don't see it happening. Maybe they'll lose to one of Utah State versus TCU, but not versus Scrambling, or Montana State, I believe, is what it is. TCU versus Utah State. TCU definitely looks like the better team in this one. 3-point percentage is better for TCU, but field percentage is actually worse somehow. Field percentage, better. Let's look at points in the paint. I mean, it's literally the same. Steals per game, you get TCU in this one. TCU definitely looks like a better team. Defensively, it seems like a better offensive rebounding team for sure, which definitely, again, is going to be a big difference in this game. Points and turnovers. Yeah, I mean, TCU definitely looks like the better team. In East, I mean, this Gonzaga team that, like I said, they weren't as dominant this year. They did fall short in the WCC, losing to St. Mary's. But, again, the Gonzaga team is still pretty good. Stats say to take McNeese, which I just don't think is going to happen. Gonzaga is just too good, honestly, to lose this game. I mean, they are a better defensive team, though, McNeese is. I mean, yeah, you can say that. They play in a much worse conference, but, I mean, 10.4 steals versus 6.9 steals is a pretty big difference. Points and turnovers, definitely a big difference as well. Opponent efficiency, I mean, of course, WCC is going to be more efficient, but even then, like, I wouldn't say that WCC is that stacked. I mean, of course, we know St. Mary's is good, but other than that, like, the teams are all right at best. So, I don't know. I think I got to go with my gut here, though. I got to go with Gonzaga in this one. I'm not picking McNeese to upset them. Kansas versus Samford. This looks like it's definitely going to be an upset. I mean, my goodness, 65.1 score to 49 according to the stats here. Percentage is way better, and was way better in a 3-point percentage, which is definitely a big factor. Opponent points per game. Looks like Kansas is definitely the better team defensively, which again could sway things a little bit differently. Personal fouls per game. Kansas fouls a lot less. I mean, the Stanford's definitely a better rebounding team, it seems like, but I don't know. I don't see it happening. And despite what the stats are saying, it looks like it's gonna be a major difference in this one. But I don't know. I just don't see it happening because when we look at the stats that actually matter the most, it doesn't seem like it makes a whole lot of sense. Although efficiency, if you look at here, overall efficiency is kind of a big difference. 117.9 to 109.5. Man, I know it's telling me to take the upset, which I kind of want to, but I don't know. I'm not feeling it a whole lot in this one. I'm gonna stick with Kansas over Stanford in this one. Don't be surprised if Stanford doesn't win that game, which I will be shaking my head if it does happen. Oregon versus South Carolina. Oregon's a team that is rolling, like I said, in one Pac-12 tournament. I'm not sure they fell 11 seed. They don't really deserve 11 seed. I'm gonna pick them to win this game. I'm just gonna go with the upset no matter what. We got Creighton versus Akron, Ohio. Creighton, of course, a very good team this year. I mean, they look like the better team all around. It seems like, according to this. Yeah, I mean, definitely a better team all around. We're gonna go with Creighton in this one. I'm gonna try to move a little bit faster since we are taking a little bit long. Texas is in CSU or Virginia. Texas, it definitely looks like the better team in this one. I mean, obviously we don't know whole lot about CSU or UVA yet. We'll see who wins that one, but I'm going to Texas for now. We'll probably change it at some point, if at all. Tennessee and St. Peter's. Volunteers, of course, a really, really strong team. St. Peter's definitely looks a lot weaker in this matchup. I will have to go with Tennessee in this one. Then move on to the next round. Make sure to move things over a little bit. I'll stay on. My bad. I will make sure to stay on the left side of the bracket for now. I'm going to get to the final four, so then we don't have to keep switching back and forth on this. But move on to back to this side, second round. UConn FAU. Of course, FAU, like I said, had a miracle run last year, but this UConn team is just so good. It's kind of hard not to pick UConn. I want to pick FAU so bad because I'm a big FAU fan, but I don't know. I mean, UConn's so good defensively, 64.4 points per game in a tougher conference than FAU is in. Don't shoot the ball necessarily super well as compared to FAU, but about the same. I think defense is definitely a big factor in this game. We're going to pick UConn beating FAU. UAB and Auburn. Auburn looks like definitely the big winner in this one. I mean, it's not even super close. I guess it is kind of close, but not really. I'm going to go with Auburn in this one. BYU and Illinois. This one's a close one. Illinois versus BYU. BYU definitely better shooting overall. Better defensively. Completely better defensively, actually. Looks like BYU might win this game. Look at effective percentage is 55 to 54. True shooting percentage about the same as well. I mean, defensively BYU is better, so I'm gonna pick BYU. Upset Illinois 6 versus 3. Drake versus Iowa State. Again, I really like this Iowa State team. Shooting percentages are better for Drake though, so maybe we do see an upset. Defensively, I mean, Iowa State is definitely better defensively, that's for sure. It's not even close, actually. Let's look at effective field percentage. It is better, actually, for Drake somehow. So, shooting percentage defense. This could be a very good matchup in the second round of March Madness. But I'm going to take Iowa State. I mean, they did just beat the #1 team in college basketball. North Carolina versus Michigan State. Going to be a great game, of course. But North Carolina, of course, is a very good team. There's a reason why Michigan State's now a 9 seed. They were not as good this season as they usually are. Tom Izzo is always a mastermind. He always finds a way to win. Anyways, I mean, Michigan is better. Michigan State is better defensively, and looking at the shooting splits, it's generally the same, other than field percentage. But I don't know. Could we see the first 1 seed fall in this one? I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if we do see it. Overall rebounds per game, it does look like UNC is a way better rebounding team, though, which could be I can't see that happening. I'm picking UNC beating Michigan State. Actually, you know what? We're just going to pick the upset. Why not? We're going to go upset heavy in this one, and starting now. Got to pick a lot of upsets. I'm telling you in this. Bama and St. Mary's. I'm going to pick Bama. Bama, St. Mary's. I don't know. I do really like St. Mary's team. Like I said, I'm able to see them in person. Luckily, field percentage is definitely better for Alabama though, which could be costly. It's not even that close. 10% difference. Rebounds per game, roughly the same. True shooting percentage is better for Bama. I mean, much I like St. Mary's team, I think Bama has to come away with this one. We got Clemson and Baylor next, 6 versus 3. Again, Baylor team that's very, very strong. The percentage is better. I mean, everything looks better for Baylor. I'm going to go with Baylor in this one. I said I want to go upset heavy, but I don't know. The stats aren't telling me otherwise. Nevada and Arizona. Arizona is definitely much better. But Arizona's bound to choke at some point, I feel like, because you can't lose to USC and Oregon in the same week and not be due for an upset at some point. Now, I don't think it's coming against Nevada because Nevada just looks much worse, but at some point, I think it will come that Arizona will be upset by maybe even Baylor. Maybe Baylor upset that. Although I'm not really upset, but we'll see what happens. Move out to Elite Eight now. UConn and Auburn. Again, UConn's team is so strong, but although Auburn looks like they can be a team to beat them. Shooting percentage is better for UConn. Let's look at defensively. If you look at opponent stuff, where even his opponent? Where'd it go? Opponent points. There we go. Yeah, UConn is definitely the better team. I'm gonna pick UConn in this one. Let's let somebody pick Auburn somehow. BYU and Iowa State. BYU is definitely the better team actually, according to the stats in this one. Opponent points. Iowa State's definitely better defensively. I mean, shooting sets about the same, so I gotta go Iowa State in this one. I'm not picking a whole lot of upsets, not like I wanted to. I'm not really sure what's happening. I thought maybe there'd be a lot more upsets, but I don't know. Stats telling me otherwise. Michigan State and Alabama. Michigan State's got to fall at some point. I'm going to go Alabama in this one. Michigan State's not that good of a team. Not good enough as a team, let's put it that way. Baylor and Arizona. I mean, everything's telling me to pick Arizona, but I know they're going to fall at some point. It doesn't make any sense. I just know for a fact that they will fold. I know what's going to happen. I don't want to pick them going that far. I know. Man, I'm going to pick Arizona, I guess, but I know they're going to fold. I know what's going to happen. Maybe they lose Bama. I'm not picking them lose to Bama. But now we got in the Elite Eight, UConn, Iowa State. Man, this UConn team is so good. I gotta pick UConn. I gotta be like most people. I'm gonna probably pick UConn to win this because UConn is so good. Then we have Bama and Arizona. Everything's telling me to pick Arizona every single time. I don't want to. I really don't want to pick Arizona, but it's kind of telling me I have to, I think. Yeah, whatever, I'll go with Arizona. To set up UConn versus Arizona, which most people have, I believe. I'll go UConn in this one. I don't pick Arizona again. I know Arizona's going to fold. I don't know why I keep picking Arizona to make it to the Final Four, but I guess that's what it is. Now move back to the right side of the bracket and move myself over. Oops. I move things over a little bit here. There we go. Moving on back to second round for the right side of the bracket. Houston versus Nebraska. Houston is very good team. I think I'm going to pick Houston in this one. James Madison and Duke. James Madison actually somehow might win this game according to this. Shooting percentage are better for Duke, it looks like. Points in the paint. It says that James Madison's better, but I don't know. I think I got to pick Duke in this one. Again, I'm picking many upsets. It's kind of annoying. I miss Kentucky Oakland actually somehow. Kentucky's definitely a better team for sure. I want to pick upsets so badly, but it's not looking like many of them are. What's happening here? But I don't know. Kentucky looks like a better team for sure. In this one, definitely better shooting team. Go Kentucky in that one. Colorado or Boise versus Marquette. That team is good, but I don't know. 30% from the three, 48% from the field, 72% from the free throw line. Let's just compare it to NC State or something. I'm just want to see. They're better than NC for now, but definitely could change to Colorado or Boise. Purdue or TCU. I know this Purdue team's gonna fold. They do it every single year. It's gonna happen at some point. Same with Arizona. I want these teams. I know these teams are gonna fold. Just can't see it happening according to these stats. I'm not really sure when it's gonna happen. It's kind of annoying. Is it this game? I don't think so. Shooting percentage is better, of course, for Purdue. I probably will go to Purdue again. Gonzaga versus Kansas. Gonzaga's not as strong this year, but they definitely look like the better team in this one. Kansas just doesn't look like a strong team somehow in this matchup for whatever reason. I should go with Gonzaga. I'm probably going to Gonzaga beating Purdue just because Purdue has to lose eventually, like I said. Oregon versus Creighton. Um, Oregon is a team that's rolling, but Creighton definitely looks much better. Yeah, I'm changing some better. Defensively, it looks like it could go Oregon's way. Um, look at bench points and stuff like that. Over points, rebounds per game, assists to turnover. I mean, most things are pointing towards Creighton winning this game, so I will go with Creighton beating Oregon in this one. Man, it's definitely not putting me upsets as I want to. Maybe I'll end up changing my bracket completely. I don't know. I'll update you guys for sure at some point. But Tennessee and Texas, this one could be an upset. Finally, an upset that I could see happening. Texas beating Tennessee. 7 versus 2 seed, that is. Why do I keep missing the opponent's points per game? I don't know why I can't. I'm not seeing it. Oh, there we go. Opponent efficiency and stuff like that. I mean, they're better defensively team for Tennessee for sure, but Texas shoots the ball a lot better. We don't go Texas. Why not? We need to upset it somehow. Cannot be many upsets. We need one for sure. Houston and Duke. Duke. I know they're not as strong, but I think this team is able to come up clutch. I think they will have a big run in March Madness. And Houston may be the first 1 seed to lose in my bracket. Definitely a better shooting team for Duke. Defensively, maybe not as strong, but opponent efficiency, it's not even close. Houston's a way better defense for sure. Splits, they're close enough that I don't know. This could be a really good game, honestly. Houston versus Duke. We'll go with Duke. Why not? Pick the upset again. Duke versus Kentucky versus Marquette. Kentucky looks like the better team for sure in this one. A 3 versus 2 upset. Yeah, no, I definitely got to beat Kentucky in this one. Then we move on to Purdue and Gonzaga. I mean, I know this Gonzaga team's not super strong, but Purdue is going to choke eventually. I'm going to go with Gonzaga, making it pretty far, even though they're, like I said, not as strong of a team this year. Creighton versus Texas. This is like a matchup that could go either way. Defensively, it's probably where things start to swing towards Creighton's side. Although Texas actually might look better defensively somehow in this one. Personal fouls is a big difference for sure. Block shots goes towards Texas. Texas. Bench point, Texas is a better bench for sure. But bench points not as bigger a difference in March Madness, as most starters will probably be playing most of the minutes. Second chance points, efficiency. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to Texas winning the game. I'm gonna go Texas in this one. Another upset happening. Bracket's kind of all over the place. I'm not really sure what's happening. But Duke versus Kentucky. Kentucky looks like they will beat Duke in this one. It doesn't look very close. We will go with Kentucky, making it to the Final Four. Then Gonzaga versus Texas. Texas is my super. Is Gonzaga my super team? I don't know. Again, like I said, they're a good team for sure, but they're not as strong this year as previous years, which is why I'm kind of on the fence about picking them. But I may have to pick Gonzaga somehow, because somehow they seem like a favorable draw. I'm gonna go Gonzaga winning this one. So we set up Gonzaga versus Kentucky in the Final Four, which is definitely an interesting matchup. Didn't see that coming, honestly. Kentucky may be the team that makes it though. Way better 3-point shooting percentage. And like I said, Gonzaga team's not very strong. I will go Kentucky in this one. Setting up a very interesting matchup in a super team for some of you guys to pick. Keep an eye out for this team. A better shooting team than UConn is, but defensively, I'm pretty sure UConn is just absolutely insane. Overall efficiency, over second chance points. Why do I keep missing the defensive stuff? Steals per game actually does lean toward Kentucky's side. Maybe Kentucky actually does pull up the upset and wins it all. Kentucky looks like a really, really strong team, actually. So, you know what? We'll go Kentucky winning all of March Madness. Tiebreaker, I'm not exactly sure what it may be. We'll just put a random score. We'll just put like 83 to 79 to win March Madness. But this is my final bracket. Kentucky, I have winning it all, but make sure to tune in tomorrow for Aman's bracket as he will be releasing his predictions and follow us on social media platforms on our content. But thanks for tuning in to this stream. We will see you guys tomorrow, like I said, and I will see you guys on Tuesday.